parents moved and bought a house in the countryside, and my friend, he had a guitar, and he had an older brother that was into heavy metal, and we used to sit in his room and listen to some early albums like Back in Black and Screaming for Vengeance, British Steel, and we decided we were going to form a band because my friend was already playing guitar, so and he said, "Oh, you should try to play the drums." And I, of course, useless at playing the drums, but I was pretty persistent, and pretty soon I managed to talk my parents into buying me a drum kit, and we formed a band that same day when I brought the drums home. And it took us about a year, and then we could play the song "I Love Rock and Roll." But it took a good year. But as soon as I got that kit home that first day, I knew this was something that I had like a great passion for. There was no teachers around until we got to like one grade, a few grades up, and we moved to a different school. And then we had there was a music teacher that took great part in our band. He actually joined on bass, and he was teaching us to play certain songs, and he was teaching me really valuable lessons about what's important for a drummer, what's the drummer's function in the band, and things like that. It was never really a possibility, actually. Even during the early years with At the Gates, and then when we later went to form The Haunted, there just wasn't any budget to do anything like that until I moved to England and joined Cradle of Filth. That's when it first became, you can actually make a living playing drums. And touch wood, I've been able to do that since. So. It's an ever-changing business, I guess. So we'll see how it goes in the future. But I'll always be playing as long as my health permits. I have been pretty blessed actually with not getting injured. I've had a few injuries, but it's been due to myself, like punching a wall or doing something stupid like outside of drumming. I haven't had any injuries yet that's been caused by me playing drums. For a while I had like a lower back problem. I found out later I had some tips that I was actually sitting too low, which and this was causing like some sort of problems with the lower back, and I had a sciatica nerve, I think it's called, with pain radiating down my legs, but that disappeared pretty quickly after I started raising my seat. Otherwise, I have had like a little bit of problem with my knee. I think that's more down to running rather than drumming. since I've lived in England, actually, I haven't had a live rehearsal room. For a bit, when we had our bigger Murder Mile studios, I had my own live room in there. But as of lately, since 3 years back, me and my wife bought a house, and I built a garden building where I have like a Roland drum kit that I use for practicing. And also I do all my demos from there, so it's like a little workshop. It works great, and because we play so much. I play so much live between all the bands. I mean, it works fine. I'm not missing a live kit at home. I'm terrified before going on stage. It's recently I played like 2 weekends ago. I played a show for a rap artist called Brooke Candy, and in the day I was so nervous. I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? Because I do love the feeling of creating music together and performing music. I do love that, but like I'm not a person that sort of thrives on the attention of like, hey, look at me, hey, I'm in a band. That side of it is not interesting to me at all. So whenever we come to play gigs, it's like because especially with like a band like The Haunted, it's very physical for me, and it's like kind of on the borderline, and like there's so many different things that can happen during the show. So. But normally the nerves sort of settle when I played like the first or second song. But yes, very nervous. Since we live in different locations, we sort of write all our music online, and it will start with either of the guitar players or Jonas, our bass player, writing parts for the song. Sometimes it's like fragments of a song, sometimes it's a full idea with an arrangement already there. And then they will have sort of rough demo drums that they've sort of dragged in, maybe from Superior Drummer or something. And then I will sort of erase those drums and put my own drums on and send versions to them. They will then go like, okay, this is good. This bit here we can use. Maybe this bit will need to change. Try a different approach here. And it goes back and forwards a few times. And then when finally we arrive in a version which is going to be the final one, and then we just meet in the studio and record it. So there was no live rehearsals of the songs. I come up with my own drum ideas, but like say Ola, for example, he has like pretty specific ideas about what he likes the song. When he writes his songs, he has specific ideas what he wants the drums to do. For example, in Preachers of Death on the new album, he did already have the idea for the ride pattern of the song, which is I tried like many different versions. Like let's have like a faster beat or a double bass beat here instead, and see if we can trying to avoid to play this ride beat. But after many versions back and forwards, we decided to go with the original idea they had. Anyway, so I guess it's sort of like a mixture between everybody's will, and it's what would happen normally, and like during the days when we were writing in a rehearsal room prior to the computers, where you'd try something, and oh, that doesn't work, let's try this instead. So it's back and forwards with ideas then as well. It's just now it's more sort of technically based around computers. Because it's got some really interesting syncopated feelings to it, and yeah, it's good fun to play. It's not too fast, not too slow. I really like this is the end, which is. We weren't sure about whether that was actually going to make the album, and in the demo stages it was very unfinished. But then when I recorded the drums in the studio and we put the guitars down, it was like, yeah, this is going to be a good live song. And we have been playing it live, and it works really well. Enjoy what you're doing, and like don't worry too much about making a career about it. Just enjoy your time creating music with different people, and you know that's how I got to where I am, and yeah.